clay of the county was all Maya had ever known. At 25, her skin was the color of roasted coffee, and her silhouette was usually cinched by a worn leather belt she'd had since high school. The only thing that stayed consistent when everything else in her life fell apart. For years, Maya practiced her rhymes in the back of a parked sedan or under the sparse shade of a roadside oak, spitting verses about the quiet desperation of country poverty. People back home told her to focus on real work, but the rhythm was in her blood. When she finally packed her few belongings into a duffel bag and took a Greyhound to the city, she thought she was stepping into a new life. Instead, she stepped into a concrete maze that didn't care if she lived or died. The city was cold in a way the country never was. Maya spent months moving between overcrowded shelters and sleeping in subway stations, her belt pulled tight to hold in the gnawing hunger. Then came the positive test. The news didn't scare her. It focused her. Maya was carrying a life, and she refused to let that life start in the gutter. She worked 3 different under-the-table jobs, cleaning late-night diners, stocking shelves, and scrubbing floors, all while keeping a beat tapping against her thigh. She spent her nights in a tiny, rented basement room, whispering lyrics to her growing belly, promising the baby that they would make it. She was invisible to the city, a young, pregnant woman with nothing but a notebook full of bars and a desperate, burning talent. One Tuesday, she was working the graveyard shift at a downtown music venue, hauling crates of equipment for a touring crew. The headliner, a veteran rapper known for his sharp ear for underground talent, was pacing backstage, frustrated. His opening act had bailed, and he was short 10 minutes of filler. Maya was wiping down a table when a track began to loop over the house speakers, a raw, heavy boom-bap beat that hit her like a lightning strike. She didn't think. She just started humming, then muttering, then flowing. She leaned into the mic that was left live on the stage, her voice raw.
Walk from the red clay, starved on cold subway floors. Now I feel the kick of this baby beneath my heart.
She wasn't performing. She was purging. She didn't realize the venue had gone silent. The headliner had walked out of his dressing room, his head cocked to the side, listening. When the beat cut out, Maya froze, clutching her stomach, expecting to be fired on the spot. Instead, the veteran rapper walked onto the stage, a slow smirk spreading across his face. "That wasn't just a flow," he said, his voice deep and steady. "That was a story. How many more you got in that notebook?" Maya straightened her belt, looked him square in the eye and smiled. "Enough to change my life." That night was the end of her struggle, but the beginning of her climb. She was no longer just a girl from the county or a woman fighting the streets. She was a voice, and for the first time in her life, the city was listening.